Hello, and welcome to the MedEdits YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be discussing some recently announced changes regarding the AMCAS application and the MCAT. All of these changes, as you know, are a result of COVID-19. I will answer your most pressing questions and will discuss how these changes could impact you. Let's get started now. The first thing I want to do is read you a quote from the AAMC. Due to the pandemic, this cycle is going to be like no cycle we've ever experienced before. We may not even know what some of the stages will look like until we get there. What does this mean for you? It means that you should really sit back and relax. The AAMC and all medical schools in the United States are going to do everything they can to ensure that this cycle will be an easy one and that it will position you for success. First, let's discuss the AMCAS date changes. AMCAS is scheduled to open on Monday, May 4th, and this has not changed from the original date. At this time, when AMCAS opens, you can start working on your application. Now, the date that has changed is the date that medical school applications will be sent to medical school. And that date has been changed to Friday, July 10th, which is 2 weeks later than what was originally intended. This will give applicants 2 weeks more to work on their personal statements and their work and activities entries, which is great news, especially for applicants who may have procrastinated a bit. Next, I will be discussing MCAT changes. Who will these changes impact? They will only impact those students who have either not taken the MCAT or who are planning on retaking the MCAT to bump a score. There have been 4 major changes to the MCAT that I will discuss. The MCAT has added 3 new test dates for a total of 20 test dates between June and September of 2020. There will be 3 testing administrations on each test date for a total of 60 testing opportunities. Those 3 testing times will be 6:30 a.m., 12:15 p.m., and 6 p.m. The MCAT will also be shortened to 5 hours and 45 minutes. I will discuss more about that in a bit. The MCAT registration opens on May 7th, and this is very important because of those 3 test times, you will undoubtedly have a time that you prefer. I anticipate that the 12:15 test time and the 6 p.m. test time will be the most popular exam times, with the early morning testing time being the least popular, unless you just happen to be an early bird who does very well by waking up at 4 in the morning. So, what content is being cut from the MCAT? And this is very important. The AMC says the cuts will come from parts of the exam that don't impact scores, such as some questions that are being given a test run and an end-of-day survey. The plan is to return to the regular format in January. So we advise you not to change your study plans. The only thing that you should alter is to be sure to take any practice tests at the same time of your chosen exam. So for example, if you chose to take your MCAT exam at 6:30 in the morning, be sure that you take all of your practice tests at that early morning hour. Now let's review the MCAT test day schedule. As you will see from the schedule that I have posted, for each section, there will be 48 questions for which you will be allowed 76 minutes. There are also 3 10-minute breaks built into the MCAT. Now, for comparison, the original MCAT had 59 questions for which you were allowed 95 minutes for every section except for cars, which was 53 questions. So the total testing time on the original MCAT was 6 hours and 15 minutes. Keep in mind that there was also a 30-minute break that was built into the original MCAT, which has been replaced by 3 10-minute breaks in the new MCAT. So the reality is that on the new schedule for the MCAT, you will have 1 hour and 16 minutes less of testing time than you would have had on the original exam. So now the question is, how does all this impact you? Answer the question, are you planning on taking or retaking your MCAT this summer? If the answer is no, you can sit back and relax and enjoy the extra 2 weeks you have to work on your medical school personal statement and your work and activities entries. If the answer is yes, you will need to reschedule your exam on May 7th and choose the time and day that works best for you. You have to realize that medical school admissions committees and the AAMC are very understanding of the current situation. And here is a quote: "Given the cancellation of the MCAT examination dates in March, April, and May, we will accept MCAT scores through October 2020. Delayed MCATs will not be viewed negatively during our holistic review process." And we expect that all medical schools will follow suit and will have similar policies to Mount Sinai, which is the school quoted. We encourage you to look at the MSAR for all medical schools' updated policies and deadlines as related to COVID. So the bottom line is, don't stress. We feel that this admission cycle will actually be the most forgiving and the most holistic admission cycle we may ever see. And here's a quote: "The admissions community is really trying to listen to and provide support to applicants and pre-health advisors. They are doubling down on their use of holistic review to ensure they have a thorough picture of applicants. Collectively, they are really coming together to try to get through this together. So stay positive." So what possible changes might be ahead? There still could be more shifting deadlines and time frames. Many are considering extending application deadlines. Yale, for example, has moved its secondary application, meant to supplement the AMCAS package, back a full month from November 15th to December 15th. To keep track of all medical schools' deadlines and how they might change, we recommend that you subscribe to the MSAR, which is an online portal, for $28 for 1 year. There also still could be further MCAT test date cancellations depending on how the pandemic progresses and how the Pearson VUE centers are allowed to operate. We also anticipate that many medical schools could have a secondary essay that asks you about COVID and how COVID may have impacted your plans and your achievements during the pandemic. My name is Dr. Jessica Friedman, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I realize that it is a lot of information. I am the founder and president of MedEdits Medical Admissions, as well as a former faculty member at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. At MedEdits, we are all former medical educators, admissions committee members, and directors of admissions, and we would be happy to help you through your medical school admissions process. Unlike the majority of MedEdits competitors, we are not people from other industries who are self-proclaimed experts, nor are we people who never made it to medical school, never made it through medical school, or maybe never graduated from medical school and made it to medical training. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and reach out to us for help. We wish you good luck and stay healthy.